Go much further south. But do what you can. You have to go further. Okay. Okay. Rear passenger window. Catch up if you can. Okay, westbound, westbound. I'm sorry, eastbound, eastbound. 42, I think. 42nd Street eastbound. You're good. You're on him. Turn a little bit more left. You're going to go over the top of him. He's right below us. 12 o'clock. I know, I know. I'm just telling you. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Throwing money out of the car on 42nd Street. Okay, stop. He's going southbound. Right under us. Let him hold up. Let him pass. Okay, turning back eastbound. Come around left. Hard left. Back. Still throwing money out. Keep going. Keep going. Please go back westbound as quickly as you can. He's getting away from us. Westbound. 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 Right there. He's down. Right down there. Coming up on Vermont again. Going northbound now. Northbound Vermont. Hold that. Coming back westbound. Throwing money out. Eastbound. Eastbound. Come around left. Come around left. Keep coming left, please. Okay, back to northbound. Easy, easy, easy. Okay, he turned right. Northbound. Okay. We're going live. Here we go. Catch up, please. Northbound. Southbound. We're ready to go when you guys are. Are we talking, Jay? Okay, turning right.
Yeah, hey, Kevin, I'm dealing with LA. We're cleared as long as we're over the harbor.
Turning right, westbound. Westbound.
Just north of you, Kevin.
Going northbound. Go, go. Yeah, wow, what a wild pursuit. LA County Sheriff's in pursuit of this SUV Volvo, and you can see that suspect. We're in South Los Angeles right now. We'll give you an updated location as it becomes available. But this suspect has stopped several times during this pursuit, as you mentioned earlier, and letting other suspects get out of the vehicle. That was up in LAPD's jurisdiction, Foothill. Now they're northbound Vermont here in the South Los Angeles. He just made a westbound turn, very down near the Coliseum, but just a few blocks south. And you can see every couple of blocks here as he goes westbound, you can see that money flying out. And 3 or 4 LA County Sheriff's deputies in pursuit in this LAPD area. We're in LAPD Southwest Division down here and going into 77th Division. But you can see trying to divert these officers, these suspects throwing money out of the window. We're going to catch up if we can here westbound. We're getting a little far behind it. And we're coming back westbound, passing Budlong. Robbery suspects right now. We're not sure what they robbed, but this did all start about a half an hour ago in the Santa Clarita area. LA County Sheriffs have been in pursuit of him for about 30 minutes. And like we said earlier, dropped off 2 suspects in 2 different locations up in LAPD Foothill area where they set up a perimeter. And now currently LAPD looking for them. But right now we have at least definitely one person, the driver, and possibly a second person, because we have seen money flying out of that back window of that car. You can see out there, it almost looks like there might be someone in that right rear passenger seat. You can see that window down as we catch up a little bit here. Continuing westbound, we'll get you that street here in a second. But Well, Philip, you can say generally right now we've seen different speeds from this suspect. At times he's sped up, at times he's slowed down, definitely going southbound here as we turn left. We're getting down to that LAX critical area, but we've seen several times where we've just driven fast and then slower, trying to lose the deputies, but you can see more money flying out of there. But right now, going southbound, we'll give you a street here in a second. But varying speeds, Philip, to answer your question. Yes, definitely blowing through lights, but not blowing through lights in such a manner that, he's stopping and slowing down to make sure he doesn't hit that, hit any traffic here as he goes back to the west here. I'm sorry, eastbound. But not to hit any vehicles. Eastbound 40th Street, we believe right now, for 48th Street. We're getting information here. Go ahead. Well, right now we're down in South Los Angeles, and we're getting into the approach path where definitely the law enforcement helicopters are flying much lower than we are. So they're allowed down low to stay with this pursuit. But the media helicopters, sometimes we have to stay out of the way of those jets coming into the LAX area. Now we're coming up on 48th Street and Western right now, so we're being cleared. Now we're northbound Western here from 48th Street, but we have to keep clear of that LAX jet traffic coming in. So we're going to keep it with you. We're going to keep it as close as we can here as it comes northbound on Western. We have, right turn, right turn, right turn. Yeah.
And 9FX got 4 going northbound there.
Southbound, southbound, southbound. Well, yeah, we're thinking that it's possibly southbound, southbound. Yeah, generally, Philip, he's staying in the same area, very close to the Coliseum, probably within about a square mile area, just to the south and to the west of the Coliseum. Looks like he's setting up for a westbound turn here. I believe this is Vernon. I'm sorry, eastbound on Vernon Street, making his way back towards Vermont. Now, what we're seeing is we're not sure there's two or you see a bag just came out, like a plastic bag, possibly what the money was in, just came out. More bags being thrown out. Possibly one or two people in the back seat. It's hard to tell. We've seen both of those rear windows roll down, and we've seen that person in the back seat out of both of those windows. Very hard to tell if it's that same person or a different person as he continues eastbound here. But yeah, we've seen pedestrians jumping out of the way as he turns southbound here. Seen pedestrians jumping out of the way. More money. Yeah, southbound here. We're going to catch up here southbound. Now, again, look at that. Look at people running out into the street picking up this money. Absolutely. Yeah, now we're back eastbound again, making his way back towards Figueroa. We'll give you the street here in a second. But yeah, throwing money out almost every few blocks, and you can see people diving out of the street to get that cash. Now that we're on the air and everybody's watching this, you can see everybody running into the streets there, right in that intersection there, as he's throwing money out. Now, be assured that that is a felony. You're not allowed to take that money. That's supposed to be given back to the police department. Right now, that's stolen money, and that's almost T-boned truck there. But now going back northbound. Yeah. Yeah. Now, you can see this truck, now a pedestrian's truck, just a civilian truck trying to get in his way to slow him down. Definitely don't want to do that. Now this other truck is involved in this pursuit, which is not a good idea. Not sure if that person is running interference for this person or if it's involved, but that is something that person is definitely going to be taken into custody for getting involved in this pursuit and interfering with police operations. You don't want to do that. He's back to the right or back behind us, Al, so we're going to go as more money comes out. A lot of people watching this, getting involved in this pursuit, running out the streets back westbound as we hurry up to catch up. You can see that at least 3 or 4 agents, about 6 sheriff's cars involved. LA County Sheriff's Air Support Aero Bureau overhead right now as they come back up. We believe this is either Hoover or Vermont. Look at all the people just standing around waiting for this. Passing Vermont. Yeah, moving now westbound on 47th from Vermont. Slowing down a little bit, but we have to be real careful for airspace here with LAX, so we're trying to coordinate to get you closer. But now everybody is out in the streets here, Philip and Leslie. Everybody's out watching this pursuit. Gone through these areas, through these streets. Yeah, and it's almost as if they're actually getting in the way of the pursuing officers. They're jumping in front of those police cars as that money flies out. Extremely dangerous. I mean, look at all those people. I've never seen anything like this. It's incredible. Westbound. Northbound. Yeah. Well, I can't imagine how much money was stolen, but he has definitely been throwing bills out here for the past, I don't know, 15 minutes now, and they just keep coming. So he must have gotten quite a lot of cash from that robbery, but you can see more people. They don't care. They're walking around the street right in front of those sheriff's deputies as he continues here westbound, working his way, eastbound, working his way back towards Figueroa. But north. Yeah, and you got to remember, too, that it... Go ahead, Leslie. Southbound Vermont, going under us to the left. Yeah, now he's southbound Vermont here, running in the 40 and the 50s down here as far as the streets are concerned. Driving a little bit more erratically. We've seen him cross into oncoming traffic here. Now that's back on Vernon and Vermont. You can see all the pedestrians out here continuing southbound on Vermont from Vernon. He's picking up the speed a little bit, picking up into oncoming traffic, and more pedestrians keep coming out in the street. Now, again, you got to remember, this is all evidence. All this money is, you obviously cannot take this money, and there are cameras, and people are watching here. Look at that, and they're going back westbound. It is... south. North, eastbound. Yeah, Leslie, absolutely. That now that we've got the confirmation it was a bank robbery, and what's interesting about that as he goes eastbound on 47th Street is to find out if there were weapons used in the commission of that bank robbery. That's what the sheriffs are worried about right now. Not so much the money's coming out; they'll deal with that later. Right now, they're worried that these suspects may still be armed, so they're using caution. They're going past Hoover here on 47th, but that's what they're really concerned with. What weapons were used in the crime, getting interviews from the witnesses there, passing that information along to the Sheriff's Department to see what they've got as far as an officer safety situation. This is the third pursuit in as many days here as we come up on Figueroa, southbound on Figueroa from 47th. This is the third pursuit in as many days here in the Southern California area. that we have covered here on ABC7. Now, again, this is the most unusual of the three, but last night we had that shootout, and here we've got this bank robbery suspect. So you can see the sheriff's Aero Bureau helicopter going through the frame there, keeping an eye as he goes southbound on Figueroa here, getting further down to the South Los Angeles area as we cross 51st here at Figueroa. But so far right now, the past couple minutes, haven't seen any more money coming out. But again, that big concern, Philip and Leslie, is weapons involved. What weapons were involved in this crime? And we're coming up on some construction site here, which may cause he's going back westbound. That's 53rd Street here from Figueroa as he moves back towards Hoover and then Vermont. Little. Still westbound. Can't we go any further west? And Philip, we just got confirmation. And for as we come up on Vermont here, passing Vermont on westbound 53rd, we just got confirmation that there are at least 2 people in the back seat along with the driver. So we still think we have three suspects on board. And we talked earlier about that pursuit intervention technique. Not something they want to do, especially if the suspect is armed. We're going to continue westbound if we can here as quickly as we can to catch up with this thing. But when the suspect is armed, what that does is that puts those officers right next to that vehicle. And that's not something they want to do tactically unless they know that the suspects are not armed. And right now, we don't know if that information. Ways to go northbound on Budlong from 53rd, back up towards the Coliseum area. Absolutely. Westbound. West. West. Catch up, please. Oh, back northbound. Back westbound from Raymond. Come around. Come around. Eastbound. Eastbound. Northbound. He is northbound. Yeah, we're northbound Kansas, guys. We're making our way back up towards Vernon area, just past Vernon, coming back up on Martin Luther King. You almost see these people on the intersection as they're driving by, knowing he's driving by, and then waving their hands like "throw me money," and getting in the way of the officers and the deputies here, turning back eastbound. And again, very dangerous, but that is definitely a felony to get involved in like that. So a lot of work, a lot of money being thrown out here. Officers got their hands full. But eventually what's going to happen here is this suspect's going to stop at one point. Most likely suspects are going to run. And when they do that, they're going to set up that containment with the help of LAPD. And even though this is the sheriff's the primary agency on this pursuit, LAPD is being advised, Southwest and 77th Division. We just got confirmation now there are only 2 suspects in the car, not 3. We're getting And we're going to continue here approaching Hoover, eastbound, eastbound, not sure the street. But LAPD is being advised, 43rd Street crossing Hoover, and a bag just came out. You see there, someone's definitely going to pick that up. But now we're going to be northbound on Hoover, coming right back towards that Coliseum area. LAPD Southwest Division in this area, moving between 77th Division and Southwest Division. You can be assured that LAPD is watching this. They might even have an airship overhead. And coordinating very closely with the sheriffs on what's going on with these guys. I think we're 40 in trees. Westbound, eastbound, westbound. Vermont, T intersection, southbound. Got it. So, yeah, westbound. Yeah, and it's very interesting to see this. Now, it's a very, they don't really know how many suspects because they don't know if they had some standoff suspects sitting in the car during the robbery. Okay, he's up on the sidewalk here. We're going to move a little bit further. Went up on the sidewalk there, nearly hit pedestrians southbound of Budlong. That was Budlong, we think, in 43rd when he went up on the sidewalk. Coming back westbound. See, there was no need for that suspect to go up on the sidewalk. Not really sure why he did it. We didn't see anything in the street there in his way. Back eastbound, coming back towards us. But getting a little reckless now, getting a little careless and reckless. And again, so many, look at these people just running out on the street. This is just absolutely nuts. These people need to know that this is a dangerous situation with armed suspects and the vehicle itself. I mean, he's going to hit somebody here if this continues. Talk to me on 6J. That's right, and that is Philip, you nailed it on the head, right? And that's a big consideration when an officer involves shooting. I mean, they have to consider their background, and these suspects start to engage the officers. They're not usually concerned about hitting other people, but those officers have to be very, very careful as we go northbound Vermont here, the wrong side of the street. They got to be very, very careful on what their background is, almost seeing hit one of our trucks there. But going back northbound on Vermont here, looks like that might be Vernon as he goes back westbound. No, it just turned westbound. Yeah, let's go further west. Yeah, see, this is not a good idea. These are citizens getting involved. Sheriffs are out. Guns are drawn. Hands are out. Okay, it looks like they're giving it up. They're going to pull them out. Very dangerous situation here. Not sure if they know. That's all I got. To know if they are armed or not. But sheriff's not taking any more chances. Pulling at least two suspects out of the car, clearing the right side of the car, and taking them into custody. Well, it looked. You can see that suspect coming out, got a tie on, possibly to to mix into the crowd at the bank, but they're loading them up into the vehicles right now. Now the idea is they want to get out of this area right now because you can see the individuals here kind of crowding around here. They want to try to clean this up as quickly as possible. The crowd looks very supportive right now, clapping their hands and waving. It looks very supportive, but you can see the concern with those officers, both sheriffs and LAPD. The suspects are now being taken into custody here. But yeah, just wow, what a wild pursuit here, guys, down here. We haven't seen anything like this. And we'll get to the cross streets of where this thing terminated here. If you can give that to me, we're gonna be working. No. Yeah, now that's all I got. Yeah, you can absolutely want to get out of there, Philip and Leslie. Absolutely want to get. Well, that is actually that's a deputy there, Philip. That's a deputy. Looks to be a deputy investigator in that cream-colored shirt, blue jeans. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Right. Say again. And Philip and Leslie, we're now hearing that the sheriffs and LAPD are requesting at least 6 or 7 additional units to respond to the area for crowd control. You can see that's a 77th unit there at Kansas and Vernon, where we believe this terminated, trying to do crowd control and peel off these citizens and these people watching away from this crime scene at this point, get them out of the area. And so they're requesting backup and assistance to clear out this area right now. At least 200 to 300 individuals, possibly even more, in this intersection, causing this ruckus here. We believe it's Kansas and Vernon, and yeah, we just got confirmation on that. Yeah, the the priority here, Leslie, when they want to get these suspects out of here before before any people might try to commandeer those suspects out of the vehicle. They want to get these suspects out. You can see the people pounding on the car and giving them a thumbs up, and they want to get these suspects out of here. They want to get the cars out of here. They want to clear this area as quickly as possible. Wow. Look at this. It's become a gridlock situation here northbound on Kansas. Vehicles are bumping into each other, trying to get out of the way. It is gridlocked here from all the people coming into this area, it looks like, just to get a glimpse of this pursuit termination. And right now, northbound Kansas from Vernon completely blocked out, and they're trying to get these suspects out of here. Now, what LAPD and Leslie and Phillip, you can see the LAPD and the LA County Sheriffs have set up a skirmish line here, a line of about 15, 20 officers, and they're pushing that crowd southbound on Kansas from Vernon, trying to move them back here. And the same thing to the northwest corner. They'll be setting up a skirmish line here as well to do the same. But again, this vehicle is still trying to move northbound on Kansas to clear out of this area. It is gridlocked right now, but they're doing a better job. They have lots of officers there clearing that sidewalk, clearing the street to try to get them out of there. Yeah, absolutely. This has quickly turned in from a pursuit situation to a crowd control situation, both with LAPD Southwest Division officers and 77th Division officers. Not sure if they're going to be calling in any Metropolitan Division assets that are trained in crowd control, but that could quickly turn into that type of a situation if this continues. But right now, you can see that skirmish line set up right in the middle of your screen here. Suspect vehicle surrounded by the sheriff's deputies, and you can see all the blue suiters down there, LAPD officers and supervisors trying to manage this. But you can see that big crowd contingency as they push the crowd eastbound on Kansas here, correction, Vernon, back towards Vermont. That's what they want to get that crowd. They want to move it. Right now, they've skirmish line is holding right now. And you can see another mobile field force moving in. You see a line of about 12 officers moving in, a mobile field force type activities. So they're getting reinforcements into the area, surrounding the area, getting more officers here to control this crowd management situation here. And that's basically what's going to happen here until this all clears up so they can continue the investigation. Now, we saw that vehicle. The suspects are still inside these sheriff black and white units up on Kansas. But you can see northbound Kansas from Vernon completely gridlocked here, Leslie and Phillip. And they're trying to get that traffic moving. Looks like they're making some progress here. This is from all the people in the area watching the pursuit, trying to get in to get a look at it. And you can see what that has caused here, and lots of black and whites here, lots of media trucks coming into the area as well. But the suspects are in these vehicles right here, trying to be taken out of the area. At least 2 suspects that we saw get in. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys saw more, but 2 suspects taken into custody. One of which was actually wearing a tie, almost like business attire. Yeah, very, very slowly, Philip. You can see them moving here. You can see the cars ahead on Kansas. They're starting to clear out Kansas, and they're going to get some LAPD Pathfinders, Southwest Division officers, to move them out of there to be Pathfinders to get these suspects out of the area. You mentioned earlier the weapon. Now, we did see, again, during this pursuit, a lot of money, a lot of bills being thrown out for about 20, 30 minutes during the pursuit. We also saw plastic bags, what almost look like hefty bag type black plastic bags coming out. It's hard to say what was in those bags, maybe more money, but it's very possible that weapons came out in those bags as well. That's all speculation, of course, at this point. But we did not see any weapons come out of the vehicle being thrown from the vehicle. Well, that's typically something that may happen in these types of situations as they actually getting these suspects out of here. Nope. Absolutely, Philip. LAPD has come in with a contingent of mobile field forces here, both from Southwest and probably all of South Bureau here, bringing officers in. Now they're going to actually take. Okay, how about now, guys? All right. Yeah, you can see that these Southwest and mobile field force units starting to move these people southbound on Kansas. Well, maybe not. They're just trying to get them back, talking to them calmly, say, please move back. And it seems like the crowd definitely is thinned out here right at Kansas and Vernon. But and the situation just a little bit further west than here. You can see LAPD air support overhead lending their ability to paint a picture from the air using their communications, telling the officers where all the crowd is, where they're going. But yeah, it does definitely seem to be thinning out right now. You can see in that T formation, they got that one skirmish line there, and you can see that row going off in almost a T. That's reinforcing officers there that will move in and deploy as they move this crowd. If they decide to do so, they're just going to wait and see right now. At some point, if this continues, they may do what's called a unlawful assembly. They'll have to declare an unlawful assembly, ask people to move. If they don't, they would make arrests, but I don't see the need for that as far as this is going right now. It hasn't really progressed to that, but if it continues this way, it possibly could, where they would call it an unlawful assembly, give people a chance to leave, and then start making arrests. But right now, it seems like they're content just to hold their ground, ask them to leave, and hopefully the curiosity factor will fade off. These people will clear the street, and they can open it up to traffic and get rid of that suspect vehicle and get it towed out of here. Yeah, Leslie. Well, it looks like the LAPD has actually been able to clear Vernon right now. All the people that you see, I mean, again, this street was completely filled with people here. They've moved them to the sidewalks. What you're looking at here is Vernon and Vermont. What LAPD looks like they've set up a little makeshift command post here. along with the sheriff's department, where they can kick off and deploy their teams to areas needed for crowd control throughout the area. But now it's just a situation of going back through the tapes, looking at all the locations where the suspect dumped money. A very big investigation here. They're going to have to go back to each of one of those locations, talk to people, get witness statements about who picked up money, what they did they see any weapons. So it's going to be quite an investigation down here for quite some time. Not sure what road closures other than Vernon and Vermont. You can see they put up crime tape here just west of the location here on Vernon. But yeah, quite an investigation ahead of them, and not sure why they're not hopefully going to move this vehicle out of here. But right now they're setting this up as if it was a crime scene, and we're still trying to gather more information about the details of the bank robbery up in Santa Clarita and try to put this thing all together for you. But right now it looks like the crowds have dispersed somewhat. Still some people hanging out, but for the most part right now it doesn't look like that's a major threat at this particular moment. LAPD and the sheriff's handling it very, very well. And that's what's happening. You see all these LAPD cars on Vermont, All South Bureau, Central Bureau, moving into this area to help support these officers down here, along with the Sheriff's Department, all throughout this area, trying to make sure that this didn't turn into something worse. And it looks like they accomplished that. And Philip and Leslie, it almost seemed, again, for trying not to assume, but the suspect was throwing the money out of the vehicle, in an attempt to get those pedestrians out of the street and maybe slow down those sheriff's deputies behind them. It didn't work, but we saw in several situations where the people didn't care. They got right in the middle of the street, right in front of those sheriff's deputies in pursuit to get those bills, almost tunneled in on that money, and didn't even notice or see or hear those sirens and lights, and they had to go around them, or they realized and got out of the way. But it almost seemed like a tactic or an attempt by the suspects. Again, I'm just guessing at this point, to get those people in the street and away from them so they could gain some ground. But obviously that did not work, and the suspects were taken into custody. $10. Okay, 7-1's on their way in. Um, I'm using the digital doubler rather than the I got the. Well, yeah, I, I did that. That was my bad. I was just trying to get in, but I'll try to stop that. I'm just trying to get as close as, because we're so high, Jay. I'm just trying to give you a closer shot. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Jay, as soon as they get here, we got to go for fuel. Do you know how close they are? Oh, okay. Yeah. We may have to go to Hawthorne for fuel.
I think as far north as we are, you're all right, Kevin, because I had told them we're going to be on station just a mile south of the Coliseum, and they said okay.
Okay. Can you move a little further west, Al? Just a little bit. So I can just look up Vermont.